Commander Tala circled around President Russell, her black eyes unblinking. Her armor made soft clicking sounds as the plates shifted with her movement. The human security detail tensed, hands near their weapons. Your species has achieved spaceflight relatively recently, yet you have already made contact with 3 other civilizations, Tala said. This is unusual. Most species remain isolated much longer before venturing beyond their solar system. We are curious by nature, President Russell replied. We seek knowledge and new experiences. The alien commander stopped directly in front of the president. Your weapons, she noted, are primitive. Your defenses inadequate. How have you survived? The president smiled slightly. We adapt. We learn. We cooperate. When necessary, we fight. But we prefer to make friends rather than enemies. Tala made a dismissive gesture. Friends, she said as if the word tasted strange. The strong have no need of friends, only servants and enemies. Which would you prefer to be in? The Houston Command Center. Lily watched the exchange with growing concern. The aliens clearly had no interest in peaceful relations. They were here to conquer, not cooperate. General Winters studied the tactical displays showing alien shuttles at each landing site. The situations were nearly identical. Vexari commanders speaking with human leaders. While this happened, the massive mothership remained in orbit. Sensors scanning the planet. They are assessing our strengths and weaknesses, the general said quietly. They want to know if we are worth conquering or if they should just wipe us out. A terrible thought occurred to Lily. What if these landings are just a distraction, she said. General, what if they are looking for something specific? Winters turned to her. What do you mean? Lily pulled up data from previous encounters with alien species. The Vexari are known to collect artifacts and technology from other civilizations, she explained. They might be after something we have but don't recognize as valuable. The general considered this. Run a scan for unusual energy signatures, she ordered. Focus on areas away from the landing sites in Washington, D.C. The conversation between President Russell and Commander Tala continued. The Vexari Imperium has existed for 10,000 of your Earth years, Tala said. We have conquered worlds far more advanced than yours. What makes you think you can stand against us? The president remained calm. We may surprise you, she replied. Humans have faced extinction-level events before and survived. We are resilient. The alien commander tilted her head. Your confidence is misplaced, she said. But interesting. I propose a test. A challenge to determine if your species deserves consideration. What kind of challenge? President Russell asked cautiously. Combat. Tala replied. One of your champions against one of ours. If your champion wins, we will discuss terms. If not, she left the threat hanging. The president frowned. We do not decide matters through combat. That is, not our way. It is ours, Tala said. Simply choose your champion in Houston. Lily received an alert from the scanning systems general. She called out, unusual energy readings detected in the Mojave Desert. Definitely not human technology. General Winters moved to her station looking at the readings. That's not far from Area 51, she noted. They might be looking for artifacts from previous crashes. Should we deploy forces? Lily asked. The general shook her head. No. They would detect them. Keep monitoring. The president needs to handle the diplomatic situation first. Back in Washington, President Russell considered the aliens' challenge. We will need time to select a champion. She said finally. You have 1 hour. Tala replied. Then the challenge will begin, or we will consider it a forfeit. As the alien commander returned to her shuttle, the president quickly gathered her advisors. This is impossible. One of them said, we can't win a physical fight against them. They've evolved on a different world with different gravity. Their physical capabilities are unknown. We need to find another way. President Russell said, turning to her chief science advisor, Dr. Megan Foster. What do we know about the Vexari, Dr. Foster? A brilliant xenobiologist consulted her tablet. Their biology suggests a high-gravity homeworld, she said, probably 1 to 15 times Earth gravity. That would make them significantly stronger than humans. However, they evolved as ambush predators, not endurance hunters. What does that mean? The president asked. It means they have explosive strength and speed, but poor stamina. Dr. Foster explained, humans evolved as persistence hunters. We can keep going long after other species would collapse from exhaustion. Can we use that? The president asked. Perhaps, Dr. Foster said, but we would need the right champion. Someone with exceptional endurance, in the Houston Command Center. The energy readings from the Mojave Desert were growing stronger. General Winters frowned at the display. They are definitely searching for something, she said. But what? Lily pulled up historical records from the database. Area 51 allegedly housed artifacts from the Roswell incident in 1947. She said most of those records were declassified decades ago, but some remain redacted. What? If the Vexari know something we don't, could they be looking for technology from their own civilization? The general wondered. Something that crashed here long ago. The pieces started falling into place in Lily's mind. What if they aren't here to conquer us, she said slowly. What if they are here to recover something that belongs to them? The theory made sense. The Vexari might be an advanced civilization, but sending a massive ship to conquer a single planet seemed excessive, unless they had another motive. General Winters nodded to Lily. Contact the president immediately, she ordered. We need to know what they are looking for. It might be our only bargaining chip. Meanwhile, in Washington, the 1-hour deadline was approaching. President Russell had made her decision. Her champion would be Captain Maya Peters, a decorated Special Forces operative with Olympic-level endurance. Maya stood 6 feet tall with dark skin and muscles honed through years of training. The Vexari shuttle opened once more, Commander Tala emerging with a much larger blue-skinned warrior beside her. The warrior stood nearly 8 feet tall with bulging muscles and a scarred face. Have you chosen your champion? Tala asked, Captain. Peters stepped forward. I will represent Earth, she said, her voice steady despite the intimidating alien warrior standing before her. The Vexari commander looked at Maya with what might have been amusement. Such a small creature, she said. This will not take long. The terms of the challenge. President Russell interrupted. What exactly are they? Simple, Tala replied. The warriors will fight until one submits or dies. Captain Peters showed no fear as she faced the alien warrior. I accept the challenge, she said. But I choose the battlefield. Alien commander considered this. Where do you wish to fight, human? The Lincoln Memorial Steps, Captain Peters replied. 5 minutes from now, as word of the challenge spread around the globe, people watched through live feeds, some in terror, others in hope. But all understood that the fate of humanity might rest on the outcome of this single combat. The massive alien ship appeared in orbit around Earth without warning. The global defense systems detected nothing until it was already there, hanging like a dark moon against the blue planet. No radio signals, no communication attempts, nothing. Lily. Morgan stared at the monitor in the Houston Space Command Center, her eyes wide with disbelief as data streamed across the screen. This can't be happening, she whispered to herself. The ship was unlike anything humans had ever seen before. Its hull seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, making it look like a hole in space. General. They just appeared out of nowhere, she said, turning to her superior. Her hands trembled slightly, but her voice remained steady. No warning. No warp signature. Nothing. General Patricia Winters, a veteran of the Mars conflict, nodded grimly, her silver hair pulled back in a tight bun. Tell me something I don't know, Morgan, she replied. Are they responding to hails? No, Mom. Lily said nothing on any frequency. The room fell silent as technicians and officers worked frantically at their stations. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Humanity had made contact with several alien species over the past decade, but none had ever approached Earth directly, and certainly none had ships of this size. Open all channels, General Winters ordered. I want to talk to whoever is in charge. Before Lily could comply, The screens in the command center flickered and went dark. A moment later, they came back to life, showing the image of an alien female. Her skin was a deep purple with iridescent scales covering her shoulders and framing her face. Her eyes were entirely black with no visible pupils or whites. Humans, said the alien. Her voice somehow translated, "Perfectly, I am Admiral Cora of the Vexari Imperium. Your planet now belongs to us. Surrender your weapons and prepare for occupation. Any resistance will result in immediate planetary bombardment." Lily felt her blood run cold. The Vexari were known throughout the sector as conquerors. They had subjugated 3 other civilizations in the past Earth decade alone. Their technology was centuries beyond human capabilities. General Winters stepped forward, her face betraying no fear. "This is General Patricia Winters of Earth Space Command," she said. "We are a sovereign planet and we do not surrender to threats. We request diplomatic talks." The alien admiral made a sound that might have been laughter. "Your species is young and weak," she said. "You have no concept of the power we wield. We do not negotiate with lesser beings, we conquer them." The transmission cut off abruptly. "Alert all Earth governments," General Winters ordered. "Activate planetary defenses and evacuate civilian populations to the underground shelters." Her voice was calm despite the dire situation. Lily was impressed by the general's composure. "What are our chances?" General Lily asked quietly. The older woman looked at her with steel in her eyes. "Not good, Morgan, but humans don't go down without a fight." The next 12 hours were chaos. Every military installation on Earth mobilized space stations went dark to avoid detection. Civilian evacuation efforts clogged every major city. Ships in orbit were ordered to power down and drift to avoid detection. Lily worked non-stop monitoring the alien vessel and coordinating with other defense centers around the globe. She had been awake for nearly 30 hours when the first shuttles launched from the alien mothership. "General," she called out. "They are deploying landing craft. Looks like they're heading for major population centers, North America, Europe, Asia." General Winters nodded. "Deploy interceptors," she ordered. "But tell them to hold fire until the aliens make aggressive moves. We need to be seen as defending, not attacking." The interceptors scrambled from hidden bases around the world. Sleek fighters piloted by Earth's best 6 alien shuttles were approaching various locations around the globe. Their destination obvious: the seats of world governments. Lily watched the tactical display as the human fighters moved into position. The alien shuttles completely ignored them, continuing their descent. "Mom, the pilots report no response to warnings," Lily said. "The aliens are ignoring all communication attempts. Let them land," General Winters said, surprising everyone in the command center. But General Lily protested. "If they wanted to destroy us, they would have done it already." Winters interrupted. "This is something else. Send word to all governments, do not fire unless fired upon. I want diplomatic teams ready at each landing site." The alien shuttles touched down in Washington, D.C., Beijing, Moscow, New Delhi, London, and Tokyo, identical. In every way, they opened to reveal armed Vexari warriors, tall and imposing with advanced weaponry. Unlike the Admiral, these aliens had blue skin and were clearly soldiers. In Washington, D.C., the landing occurred on the National Mall. The alien shuttle scorched the grass as it landed. Steam rising from its hull as it cooled. Military forces surrounded the area, keeping civilians back, though many recorded the historic moment on their devices. From the Houston Command Center, Lily watched the Washington landing on a live feed. The alien warriors emerged, followed by what appeared to be an officer, her purple skin marking her as a different caste from the blue-skinned soldiers. The officer stepped forward, looking at the human representatives with what seemed like curiosity. "This is your leadership?" she asked, her voice translated through some unknown technology. The U.S. President stepped forward, flanked by security. "I am President Olivia Russell of the United States of America, one of Earth's nations. We wish to discuss your presence here peacefully." The alien officer tilted her head, studying the human leader. "Your species is interesting," she said. "You face overwhelming force, yet you speak of peace. You must know you cannot win against us. We prefer to avoid conflict when possible," President Russell replied. But make no mistake, we will defend our home if necessary. The alien seemed to consider this. For a moment there was silence. Then she spoke again. I am Commander Tala of the Vexari Imperium. She said, my admiral believes your species is not worth negotiating with. I am here to determine if she is correct in the command center. Lily looked at General Winters. This could be our chance, she said quietly. The general nodded, watching the exchange carefully. Sometimes the best weapon is words, Morgan, she replied. Let us hope our president chooses hers wisely. The Lincoln Memorial steps were cleared of civilians. A perimeter established by military forces kept onlookers at a safe distance. The marble steps gleamed in the afternoon sun, as Captain Maya Peters stood at the bottom dressed in simple athletic wear. She stretched her muscles calmly, preparing herself. The Vexari warrior named Groon, according to Commander Tala, stood at the top of the steps looking down at the human. His blue skin glistened with some kind of oil. His muscles rippled as he moved, testing the weight of the stone beneath his feet. He wore minimal armor, just enough to cover vital areas, leaving his limbs free for combat. President Russell stood to one side with her advisors, while Commander Tala watched from the opposite side. The tension in the air was palpable. In Houston, Lily Morgan continued monitoring the energy signatures in the Mojave Desert. They were growing stronger and more focused. General Winters spoke quietly into her communication device, coordinating with forces near the desert. Something is definitely happening out there, she said. But we can't make a move while the challenge is underway. It might be seen as cheating. Lily nodded, understanding the delicate situation. The fate of humanity seemed to rest on two separate events happening simultaneously, a battle of strength in Washington and a mysterious search in the desert. Back at the Lincoln Memorial, Commander Tala stepped forward. The rules are simple, she announced. No weapons. No outside interference. The combat ends when one fighter submits or is unable to continue. She looked at both combatants. Do you understand? Captain Peters nodded, her face a mask of concentration. Groon made a grunting sound that was clearly affirmative. Then begin, Commander Tala said, stepping back. The alien warrior immediately charged down the steps, his massive form moving with surprising speed for his size. Captain Peters did not move. She stood her ground, watching, calculating, at the last possible moment. She sidestepped the alien, unable to change direction, quickly stumbled past her, his momentum carrying him forward. Maya used this opportunity to deliver a quick strike to the back of his knee. Groon roared in anger more than pain. He spun around faster than expected and caught Maya with a backhand blow. She flew several feet before landing hard on the ground. The crowd gasped, many thinking the fight might already be over, but Maya rolled with the impact and was back on her feet in seconds. A trickle of blood ran from the corner of her mouth, but her eyes remained focused. Impressive, Commander Tala said quietly. Most beings would not rise after such a blow. Captain Peters circled the alien warrior, keeping her distance now. She had felt the power in that single blow and knew that a direct confrontation would end badly. The alien was clearly stronger. But was he smarter? Was he more enduring? Groon charged again. This time Maya ran directly at him, but at the last second she dropped, sliding between his legs. She came up behind him, delivering several quick strikes to his lower back before dancing away. The alien roared in frustration. Dr. Foster watched intently. She is testing him, she said to the president. Looking for weaknesses. The Vexari have evolved for strength, not endurance. If she can keep this up long enough. The battle continued for 10 minutes, then 20. The alien warrior grew increasingly frustrated as Maya evaded his attacks, landing quick strikes before moving away. She was bleeding from several wounds now, but the alien was also showing signs of fatigue. His movements becoming slower, his breathing labored in. Houston, Lily received an urgent alert. General, she called out. They found something. The energy readings are off. The charts. General Winters looked at the data. Something was definitely happening in the desert. The reading suggested some kind of technology being activated. Get me satellite imagery, she ordered immediately. Back at the Lincoln Memorial, the battle had moved up and down the steps multiple times. Captain Peters was clearly tiring, but the alien warrior was in worse shape. His movements were sluggish, his attacks predictable. Maya had taken advantage of this landing. More solid blows. "You cannot win by simply avoiding me," Grun growled, his translated voice filled with anger. "Face me properly." Maya wiped blood from her face. "I don't need to win," she replied. "I just need you to lose." With renewed fury, the alien charged up the steps toward her. Maya stood her ground this time. As Grun reached her, she sidestepped again, but this time she stuck out her foot. The exhausted alien tripped his momentum, carrying him forward. He crashed headfirst into the marble steps, with a sickening crack. The crowd fell silent as the massive warrior lay still. For a moment, no one moved. Then slowly, painfully, Grun pushed himself up. Blood of an unusual purple color ran down his face. His eyes unfocused. "I will not yield," he growled, though he could barely stand. Maya stood before him, her own body battered, but her mind clear. "You fought well," she said, "but this battle is over." "Never." Grun roared, charging one last time. This time Maya did not evade. Instead, she stepped into his charge, using his own momentum and weight. Against him, a quick pivot, and the alien warrior went flying down the steps. He landed in a heap at the bottom. Unmoving, Commander Tala stepped forward, examining her fallen warrior. "He still lives," she announced. Then, looking at Maya, she added, "Your champion is victorious." The crowd erupted in cheers, but Maya remained focused, her eyes on the alien commander. "What happens now?" she asked between labored breaths. Tala tilted her head, studying the human with new interest. "We negotiate," she said. But first her gaze shifted to President Russell. "There is something we seek, something that belongs to us, in the Houston Command Center." The satellite imagery finally came through, showing the Mojave Desert. General Winters and Lily stared at the screen. In shock, a massive structure was emerging from the sand. Clearly not of human origin, its metallic surface gleamed in the sunlight. It appeared to be some kind of ship or facility buried for who knows how long. "My God," Lily whispered. "How long has that been there?" General Winters shook her head. "I don't think even our government knew about this," she said. "This changes everything." President Russell received the information through her secure channel, as Commander Tala waited. "You are looking for a ship," she said to the alien. "A Vexari ship buried in our desert." Tala showed no surprise that the humans had discovered this. "Yes," she replied. "It crashed on your world thousands of years ago, long before your civilization rose to prominence. It contains technology, vital to our people. Why not just ask us for help?" the president questioned. "Why this show of force?" The commander made a gesture that might have been embarrassment or annoyance. "Your species is young and unpredictable," she said. "We could not risk you using the technology against us or destroying it out of fear. We could have worked together," President Russell said. "We still can." Tala looked at the human leader for a long moment, then at Captain Peters, who stood bloodied but unbowed. "Your champion has proven that your species has qualities we did not anticipate," she said. "Perhaps there is more to humans than we first believed." The ancient Vexari ship rose fully from the desert sand, its massive form dwarfing the human military vehicles surrounding it. Decades, perhaps centuries of burial had not damaged its sleek hull. The metal gleamed as if newly forged, despite its age. Lily Morgan stood at the perimeter established around the site, her security clearance allowing her this close, her eyes wide with wonder as she took in the alien craft. It was beautiful in a strange and terrible way. General Winters stood beside her, along with Dr. Abby Nelson, the top xenoarchaeologist in North America. They had flown directly from Houston after the energy signature had been confirmed. "What do we know about it?" Lily asked, not taking her eyes off the ship. "Doctor." Nelson consulted her tablet. "Based on preliminary scans, it's approximately 10,000 years old," she said. "The technology is far beyond our current understanding. The power source is still active, which is remarkable considering how long it's been here. How did we not find this before?" General Winters asked, Some kind of cloaking technology. Dr. Nelson suggested it only became detectable when the Vexari activated it remotely from their mothership. The Vexari delegation had arrived an hour earlier. Commander Tala and several technical specialists examined the ship with what appeared to be reverence, their purple skin contrasting with the sandy landscape. "This is far more important than we realized," Dr. Nelson said, quietly. Her voice hushed. "I believe this is not just any ship, it's a seed ship." Lily looked at her confused. A vessel designed to start a colony," Dr. Nelson explained. "The Vexari might have been planning to colonize Earth thousands of years ago before something went wrong and the ship crashed. This changed everything. The Vexari weren't just passing conquerors. They had a historical claim to Earth, or at least felt they did." Meanwhile, in Washington, President Russell met with Commander Tala in the White House Situation Room. The alien commander had agreed to diplomatic talks following Captain Peters' victory. Captain Peters sat at the table, still bandaged from her fight, but insisted on being present. Her performance had earned her the right to participate. "Your people fought well for the ship, Commander," Tala said. "We lost many warriors when it crashed. The survivors integrated with the primitive humans of that time." President Russell leaned forward. "Are you saying that Vexari have lived among humans for thousands of years?" Tala made a gesture of affirmation. "Very few," she said. "Most died out unable to reproduce successfully with humans, but some genetic material remained. That is why some of your people have unusual abilities. Greater strength, faster reflexes, higher intelligence. These are Vexari traits, Captain." Peters looked at her hands, wondering if her own exceptional abilities came from alien ancestry. "What does the ship contain?" President Russell asked. "The technology you mentioned, it holds the collective knowledge of the Vexari people at that time." Tala explained our history, our science, our culture. More importantly, it contains genetic samples of pure Vexari. Those samples could help cure a genetic degradation affecting our people. "So this isn't about conquest?" Maya asked. "It's about survival." Tala looked at the human warrior with something resembling respect. "It is both," she admitted. "The Vexari Imperium has always expanded, seeking resources and territory. But this mission has a more urgent purpose. Our species is dying. Our genetic diversity too limited. We need the samples from that ship back at the desert site." Lily watched as the Vexari technicians worked on the ancient vessel. A hatch had opened, revealing a dark interior. Several aliens had entered while others worked on external systems. Dr. Nelson studied readings from her instruments. "Something is happening," she said. "The power levels are increasing exponentially." General Winters immediately went on alert. "Order all personnel back," she commanded. "We don't know what that thing is capable of." Before anyone could move, a brilliant light erupted from the ship, bathing the desert in an unearthly glow. The light pulsed once, twice, then stabilized, forming a beam that shot straight up into the sky in orbit. The Vexari mothership moved into position, directly above the beam, its massive hull opening to receive the transmission. "This is more than just information retrieval," General Winters said, her voice tense. "Get me the president now." In the White House Situation Room, alarms sounded as information about the desert incident came through. President Russell looked at Commander Tala, her expression hardening. "What is happening?" she demanded. The alien commander remained calm. "The ship is transmitting its data to our vessel," she explained. "This was always our intention. And after you have what you need." Maya asked, "Will you leave peacefully?" Tala did not answer immediately, her black eyes unreadable. "That," she said, "depends on what we find." The tension in the room grew thicker. The fate of humanity potentially hanging on whatever data that ancient ship contained. Hours passed as the beam continued its transmission. The Vexari technicians worked tirelessly, while human scientists observed from a safe distance. Lily had been taking notes, documenting everything she could about the alien technology, the design, the materials, the power source, all of it beyond current human capabilities, but perhaps not beyond human understanding. Dr. Nelson approached her, excitement clear on her face. "They've invited us in," she said a gesture of goodwill according to the translator. We can observe the central chamber. Lily looked at General Winters, who nodded grimly. Be careful, she said. Remember, you're representing all of humanity in there. The interior of the Vexari ship was surprisingly organic. Corridors curved and flowed like blood vessels, the lighting soft and ambient coming from the walls themselves. The air smelled faintly of cinnamon and ozone. The Vexari technician leading them was smaller than the warriors. With 6-fingered hands that moved with incredible precision, she led them to a large circular chamber at the ship's heart. In the center stood a crystal pillar pulsing with energy. Around it, various stations with what appeared to be control interfaces. Data flowed across surfaces too fast for human eyes to process. What is this place? Lily asked in awe. The technician turned to her. This is the memory core, she explained through her translator. All knowledge, all history, all culture preserved here. Dr. Nelson may examine the historical records while you observe the genetic repository. Lily followed the technician to a separate section of the chamber. Their rows of containers filled with glowing blue liquid lined the walls. Each contained what appeared to be DNA samples. Thousands of them preserved perfectly for millennia. These are the pure genetic samples, Commander Tala mentioned. Lily realized. The key to saving the Vexari species. Why show us this? She asked. The technician. The ship's technology would give humanity a huge advantage if we could understand it. The technician tilted her head in that now familiar Vexari gesture. Not all of my people agree with sharing knowledge, she said. But the Admiral has been reviewing your history. Your species has potential. Despite your primitive technology, you have accomplished much in a short time, and you, Captain Peters. She made the battle demonstration. In Washington, the communication systems suddenly activated, showing Admiral Cora, the Vexari leader, who had initially threatened Earth. Her expression was different now, less hostile, more contemplative. I have reviewed the ship's data, she announced to the assembled humans and Vexari. It contains more than we expected. The genetic samples are intact. Our species can be saved. But it also contains historical records. Records that change our understanding of your world and ours. The revelation changed everything. Admiral Cora addressed the leaders of Earth. Her image projected simultaneously in government chambers around the world. The seed ship was not sent to colonize your world, she explained. It was sent to protect it in the desert ship. Lily and Dr. Nelson exchanged shocked glances as they too heard the Admiral's words. The historical records are clear. Cora continued. 10,000 years ago, our scientists detected an extinction-level event approaching your planet, a rogue asteroid that would have destroyed all complex life on Earth. The seed ship was sent to prevent this catastrophe. President Russell leaned forward in her chair. Are you saying the Vexari saved humanity? Not exactly, Admiral Cora replied. We saved your world. The primitive humans of that time had no concept of what we did. The seed ship deployed technology that diverted the asteroid, but in the process, the ship was damaged and crashed. Your myths of gods battling in the sky might stem from witnessing this event, Doctor. Nelson nodded excitedly, turning to Lily. This explains so much, she said. Myths from around the world describe celestial battles, heavenly fire. Ancient cultures worldwide recorded something major happening in the sky, thousands of years ago. But why? Lily asked. Why save a primitive planet with no spacefaring capability? The Vexari technician leading them through the ship answered. Your world is unique, she said. It has biodiversity unmatched in our explorations. The variety of life forms and ecosystems made it valuable. Especially to our genetic scientists, Admiral Cora was explaining the same to the world leaders. The seed ship also had another purpose, she said, to observe and collect genetic samples from Earth's diverse biosphere. Our species was already facing genetic degradation. Our scientists believed Earth's biodiversity might hold the key to our survival, and did it? President Russell asked. We will know soon, the Admiral replied. The ship contains both our ancient genetic material and samples collected from your world before it crashed. Our scientists are comparing them now. In the desert ship, Lily watched as Vexari technicians worked with the genetic samples. The glowing containers pulsed with energy as information was extracted and analyzed. The technology was beyond her understanding, but the purpose was clear. The Vexari were fighting for their species' survival. Nelson had moved to a different section of the ship, examining historical records projected. On flowing screens, "This is incredible," she whispered. The Vexari recorded Earth as it was 10,000 years ago. Human civilizations barely beginning, agriculture just taking hold in Washington. Captain Maya Peters watched the alien admiral carefully. Despite the seemingly positive revelations, she remained cautious. "Why tell us this now?" she asked. "Why not explain from the beginning, Admiral?" Cora turned her black eyes to the human warrior. "Because we did not know," she replied. "The seed ship was lost. Our ancestors recorded its mission, but not its fate. For generations, we believed it destroyed. Many thought the mission a failure. Only recently did we develop technology capable of detecting its unique energy signature. Even then, we were not certain what we would find. And now you have Maya pressed. What happens to Earth?" The Admiral's expression was unreadable. "Would you destroy those who saved your ancestors?" she asked. Maya didn't flinch. "We would defend ourselves if necessary," she replied. "But we would prefer alliance to conflict." The Admiral made a sound that might have been approval. "The human captain continues to impress," she said. In the desert, a sudden change occurred. The crystal pillar at the center of the ship's main chamber pulsed brighter. The data flow accelerated. Vexari technicians moved with greater urgency. "What is happening?" Lily asked their guide. "A breakthrough," the technician replied. "The genetic analysis is complete." Throughout the ship, lights flashed in what seemed like celebration. Vexari technicians embraced each other. Some made sounds that translated as laughter or joy. "Or scientists have found the solution," the technician explained. "The genetic samples from Earth combined with our ancient pure samples can reverse the degradation. Our species can be saved." Lily felt a wave of relief. The Vexari had what they needed. There would be no need for conflict, no need for conquest back in Washington. Admiral Cora received the news. Her expression changed visibly, even through the alien. Features humans could see something like joy. "The analysis is complete," she announced. "Earth has given us what we sought. A cure for our genetic illness. A new future for our people. In return, we offer you knowledge. Not all our technology that would be too disruptive to your development, but enough to help your species advance to cure diseases, to begin exploring your solar system more effectively." President Russell considered the offer. It seemed too good to be true. "What do you ask in return?" she questioned. "Two things," Admiral Cora replied. "First, continued access to Earth's biodiversity for research purposes. Your planet contains genetic possibilities we have never seen elsewhere. Second, an alliance, a formal recognition between our peoples." "Not conquest," Captain Peters said. The Admiral made a gesture of negation. "Conquest is costly," she said, "and unnecessary when cooperation benefits both sides. The Vexari have conquered when needed, but we prefer stable alliances when possible. Your species has proven itself worthy of respect." 3 days later, on the plains outside the ancient ship, representatives from Earth and the Vexari Imperium gathered. The ship had been secured, its most valuable contents transferred to the mothership. Still, it remained an important site. A piece of shared history between two species. Lily stood with General Winters and Dr. Nelson watching, as President Russell and Admiral Cora signed the first treaty between Earth and the Vexari Imperium. Captain Peters stood at attention nearby, still bearing the marks of her battle, but standing proud. "This is just the beginning," Dr. Nelson said quietly. "Think of what we can learn from them, and what they can learn from us." Lily added, "The Admiral seems especially interested. In human adaptability and endurance, Captain Peters showed them something they hadn't seen before." General Winters nodded. "The Vexari are physically stronger, more technologically advanced, but humans have qualities they lack: determination, creativity, endurance." Maya proved that one determined human can overcome even their strongest warriors. The treaty-signing complete Admiral Cora approached the small group of humans. Her imposing presence softened somewhat by the ceremonial robes she wore instead. Of armor, your world is young, she said. But your species has potential. We have observed many civilizations across the stars. Few have impressed us as humans have. You lack power but possess spirit. Lack technology, but possess ingenuity. In time, you might become something remarkable. And the Vexari Lily asked, "What will your people become now that you have found your cure?" The Admiral looked up at the sky where her ship orbited invisible from the ground. "We will be reborn," she said. "Our decline, reversed our future secured, and we will remember that Earth helped make this possible." As the ceremony concluded and the delegates dispersed, Lily found herself standing alone near the ancient ship, its presence a reminder of how small humanity was, in the grand scheme of the universe, yet also how significant a planet worth saving, a species worth respecting. Captain Peters joined her, observing the ship in companionable silence. "Do you think they really came to save us 10,000 years ago?" Lily asked. "Or is that just a convenient story?" Maya considered the question. "I think," she said slowly, "that the universe is more complex than we imagined. That perhaps there are no heroes or villains, just different species trying to survive. The Vexari came for their own purposes, but in doing so they saved our ancestors. Now they need our help, and in helping them we secure our future." Lily nodded, watching as the sun set behind the ancient vessel, casting long shadows across the desert floor, the ship that had remained buried for 10,000 years. A silent guardian. A bridge between worlds. A new chapter was beginning for both species. One of cooperation rather than conflict. Of exchange rather than conquest. The stars suddenly seemed closer than ever before. And humanity had taken its first real step into the galactic community. Sometimes, Lily thought, the most unexpected encounters lead to the greatest opportunities. Maya smiled, looking up at the darkening sky where stars were beginning to appear, and sometimes she added, "The greatest strength is knowing when not to fight."